If you're dealing with panic attacks, specifically if one of your issues is panic attacks on the subway, so you avoid the subway, you haven't taken, like some people in the New York City area, they've avoided the subway for years, so much so that a 30-minute commute turns into a 2-3 hour commute. If you're one of those people and you're wondering, how do we solve this problem? I specialize in the treatment of panic attacks and agoraphobia, so here is how we tackle this problem. We don't actually go straight after that particular exposure. So exposure therapy is the way to go. There is no other way. If you find another way, leave it in the comment section. There ain't no other way. So we got to do exposure, but we don't go straight for the subway exposure. The main reason is that subway is one of those binary, you're either on or you're off types of stimuli. It's 100% or 0%, right? There's very little in between. There's a little bit of stuff we can do to warm you up to it, but for the most part, it's a binary kind of an exposure. It's 100% on or 0, right? So it's not a great exposure. It's actually more like flooding. Flooding is another type of exposure. It's kind of like what we see on TV, they're like Fear Factor, right? When they walk somebody into a room full of spiders and they just have to sit in a tub full of spiders, that's flooding. It's very effective, it's very quick, but in terms of compliance rates in therapy, people don't want to do it. People are like, no thank you. Thank you very much. I'd rather live with this for the rest of my life, right? So instead, we use something that's different, but the same concept, just broken down into small baby steps. That's called systematic desensitization. So we slowly escalate the intensity of the exposure. But we can't do that with the subway. So what do? We still use systematic desensitization, but we target your other triggers and leverage the exposure process to change your attitude towards panic. So by the time we get rid of all your other triggers of panic and you're ready to go on the subway, at this point, you're confident that you can handle this. And here's the funny thing. The more confident you are that you can handle whatever comes your way, the less likely that panic is going to happen. The reason is that it's a self-feeding cycle. The more you fear that experience, the stronger the experience becomes. The less you fear the experience, the more willing you are to have that experience happen, the less likely it is to happen and the less intense it is. So our goal is actually to make you 100% willing to have a panic attack, to feel this stuff, before we actually do those more challenging exposures like riding on the subway. Driving is another example. I'll cover that in another video. By the way, my name is A.J.B. I specialize in the treatment of panic attacks and agoraphobia. If you want more help, more tips, check out the rest of my YouTube channel. Go on my website. I offer free 15-minute consultations. There's also a fun little newsletter you can join where I offer all kinds of tips on how to deal with this stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.